The true case of Zoe Campos. This is one of those cases that truly lingers in your mind, not just because of what happened, but because of how long her family had to live with not knowing. 18-year-old Zoe Campos from Lubbock, Texas, was the kind of girl people never forgot. Bright, funny, compassionate, she loved animals so much her home was full of rescued cats, dogs, and even turtles. Her mother, Melinda, often joked that they were still attached by the umbilical cord. That's how close they were. On November 17, 2013, Zoe spent the evening with her sister Savannah. They had dinner, watched a movie, just an ordinary night. Savannah went to bed around 11:30 p.m., and Zoe promised to pick up her mom later that night. At 2:19 a.m., she texted her mother, "I'm on my way." But Zoe never came home. By morning, her phone went straight to voicemail. Melinda's worry turned into dread. When Zoe didn't show up for work, police were called, but officers initially told the family to wait 24 hours, so they started searching themselves. Then, 36 hours later, Zoe's aunt Monica saw something chilling: her niece's silver Dodge Neon being driven by a man she didn't recognize. She followed him, but the driver sped away and abandoned the car. Inside, police found a coat, phone charger, duct tape, and men's clothing, but no sign of Zoe. Detectives quickly learned she had been planning to meet a man named Carlos Rodriguez that night. Questioned early on, Carlos claimed they'd smoked synthetic marijuana, and she left afterward. With no solid evidence, the case went cold. For 5 years, Zoe's family searched tirelessly, organizing vigils, pleading on the news, hanging posters. Melinda said she felt her daughter was still out there somewhere, waiting to be found. Then, in 2018, during a separate stalking investigation, police interest returned to Carlos Rodriguez. A search of his backyard uncovered a bone. It turned out to be animal, but when confronted, Carlos broke down. He eventually confessed that on the night Zoe disappeared, he'd strangled her during a drug-fueled hallucination, believing she had turned into a demon. He buried her body in a shallow grave behind his home. Police excavated the yard and found Zoe's remains buried beneath concrete. After nearly 5 years of anguish, Melinda finally had the answer she both needed and feared. Rodriguez later sent a handwritten letter to local media, a twisted attempt at remorse, claiming he wasn't a murderer, just a 20-year-old kid who made a mistake. But his words meant nothing against the horror of his actions. In August 2022, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. For Zoe's family, it wasn't justice so much as the end of a nightmare. Melinda has since spoken about her daughter's memory, how Zoe's laughter still echoes in her heart. She said, "Zoe wasn't just my daughter, she was my best friend." This case reminds us that behind every headline is a family that still loves, still waits, and still carries the weight of what was lost.